She tried to look unattractive for the blind date, but he fell harder than anyone ever did. She stood in front of the mirror and barely recognized herself. The sweater was baggy, the shoes were old, and her hair was tied back in a way that hid everything she usually felt proud of. Her heart was pounding, not from excitement, but from fear. This blind date wasn't supposed to matter, yet it already did. What she didn't know was that this night, this single choice to be unseen, would change two lives forever, and prove that kindness can shine brighter than beauty ever could. Before we begin, if you enjoy emotional, real lifestyle stories that remind us of the goodness in people, don't forget to subscribe, like this video, and share your thoughts in the comments. This channel is Eliza, and your support helps keep these stories alive. The main story begins on a quiet Friday evening in a small American city where life moved fast, but loneliness moved faster. Her name was Emma. She was 29, hardworking, and kind in a way that often went unnoticed. She worked at a local library, helped her neighbors without being asked, and always listened more than she spoke. But when it came to love, Emma had been hurt too many times. Men noticed her looks first, and when they realized she was more than that, more thoughtful, more emotional, they slowly drifted away. So when her coworker set her up on a blind date, Emma felt tired before it even began. "Just be yourself," her coworker said with a smile. Emma nodded, but inside she thought, what if myself isn't enough anymore? That's when the idea came to her. It wasn't revenge or a test, it was self-protection. She decided to look unattractive on purpose. No makeup, plain clothes, nothing eye-catching. If the man across the table stayed, she'd know it was for the right reason. And if he didn't? At least she wouldn't be surprised. The man she was meeting was named Daniel. Daniel arrived early at the cafe, nervously folding and unfolding his hands. He wasn't the type who went on many dates. At 32, he worked as a physical therapist and spent most of his free time volunteering at a rehab center. Life had taught him patience, empathy, and how fragile people could be, especially after caring for his younger brother who had lost his sight years earlier. Daniel had learned something important through that experience. What you see isn't always what matters most. When Emma walked in, she hesitated at the door, scanning the room. Daniel stood up when he saw her, unsure but hopeful. She noticed his gentle smile first, not flashy, not forced. Just kind. They sat down, and for a moment, the silence felt heavy. Emma expected his eyes to show disappointment. She expected him to check his phone, or make an excuse to leave early. But instead, Daniel asked her how her day had been and actually listened to the answer. She talked about the library, about a child who had struggled to read but finally smiled when he finished his first book. Daniel leaned in, interested. Not in how she looked, but in how she cared. As the minutes passed, Emma slowly forgot about her clothes and her hair. She laughed. She shared stories she usually kept hidden. Daniel told her about his brother, about learning to guide someone without controlling them, and about how kindness had become his way of seeing the world. At one point, Emma accidentally spilled her coffee. Her face turned red with embarrassment. "I'm so sorry," she said quickly, reaching for napkins. Daniel smiled and helped her clean it up. "It's okay," he said softly. "Everyone spills sometimes." Something about that sentence stayed with her. Hours passed without them noticing. When the cafe began closing, Emma realized she didn't want the night to end, and that scared her. Outside, the air was cool and calm. They stood awkwardly, neither wanting to say goodbye first. "I should tell you something," Emma finally said, her voice shaking. I didn't dress like this by accident." Daniel looked surprised, but he didn't interrupt. "I was afraid," she continued. "Afraid that if I showed up as the best version of myself, and you still didn't stay, it would hurt more. So I tried to hide." There was a long pause. Emma braced herself, and then Daniel said something she would never forget. "Emma, my brother once told me that the people who treated him kindly after he lost his sight were the ones who truly saw him. Tonight, I didn't fall for how you look. I fell for how you treat the world." Tears filled her eyes. They started seeing each other after that night, not because of chemistry alone, but because of care. Daniel noticed the way Emma remembered small details. Emma noticed the way Daniel helped strangers without expecting thanks. Their relationship grew slowly, gently, built on respect and kindness instead of appearances. Months later, Emma wore a beautiful dress to another date with Daniel. This time, she didn't hide. "You look amazing," he said honestly. She smiled. "So do you." But they both knew the truth. What had brought them together wasn't beauty or perfection. It was kindness, the quiet kind that shows up, listens, and stays. In a world that often judges too quickly, their story reminds us of something powerful. When we choose kindness, we allow others to truly see us, and we learn to truly see them too. So as you go about your day, remember this. You never know who might be hiding behind fear, or who might be waiting to be seen for who they really are. Choose kindness. It may change a life. It may change yours.